Hello and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be going through the National League Team of the Year for the 2018-19 season, voted by you, and also a few changes by me as well. So make sure you smash a like on the video. Let's try and smash 50 likes on this video. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 5k, and yeah, let's get straight into it. So of course, I know a lot of you will disagree with some of the players that are included, so let me know down in the comments below. But obviously, if I've left a player out, you know, we've got people have got different opinions and other people, and obviously people are passionate about their team. So yeah, let me know what you think, if maybe players I've missed out or maybe players that shouldn't be in there. But yeah, so in goal, Nathan Ashmore. He did win the vote by a mile. I know there was a big following, votes by for Rob Layton. I know he's got the most clean sheets in the league. I know he's been solid, but I just think he's got more. He's got a solid defence in front of him, and the Wrexham kind of had that real. I think from the start of the season they've always been solid. We had 16 clean sheets, but they've mainly come from second half of the season, and Nathan Ashmore has been a big part of that. I don't think you can say Rob Layton's had a game like Nathan Ashmore did against Leyton Orient. He was literally saving everything, and he won us that game pretty much. He's made crucial saves in other games as well. He usually has a second half of the season better than the first half of the season. I'm not ruling out the fact that Ryan Boot, Jay Lynch, the File goalkeeper, Dean Brill, there's some great goalkeepers in the National League, so it's a real tough pick. You may say I'm biased, but I do think Nathan Ashmore deserves this. He's probably going to be moving on this season from FC. I really hoped for him to be in the Football League and hopefully do a player career mode with him on FIFA. But yeah, in goal for our National League Team of the Year is Nathan Ashmore. So moving over to left back, we've got Joe Widdingson from Leyton Orient. Joe's been a major part of Leyton Orient's season and pretty much played every game. And obviously Leyton Orient have been very solid at the back, and he's been a big part of that. 30 years of age, for him to be in the Football League, I'm sure he'll get some big game time. And he's been a big part of Leyton Orient's revival back from what they were a mess for in Football League, and to come back up, and he's been a mainstay in that left back position. And yeah, I think he's severely overrated. I think maybe Leyton Orient fans underrate him, but maybe the league underrate him. But yeah, I think Joe Widdingson in left back is a pretty good shout. And yeah, on centre back. So in centre back we've got Josh Coulson. This guy, every time I seem to check the FootMob or the scores, this guy always seems to score. And maybe because he's got a massive forward, that's the song they've got for him. And he's been another one of those major parts of this Leyton Orient back four, this solid part. And you could have really put any of the back four. I think, you know, McAnuff really could have easily been in this Team of the Year. But maybe his injury at the end of the season just missed him out, obviously being the captain. But I think that injury just hindered him a little bit, and maybe why he's not in this team. He's been fantastic this season as well. But Josh Coulson, he's been brilliant, solid all season. He's popped in with some crucial goals as well. Scored at Telford, scored some scored against Harrogate, scored 7 goals this season, which for a centre back is really crucial. And when you're under the cosh in tight games, to get the title, and that's what they've done. Josh Coulson, so important for Leyton Orient. I think a very deserved member of this team. And in the other centre back pairing, we've got Carl Pigliani. I hope I've said that right. Him playing for Salford again. He was March Player of the Month, and I think obviously Salford had this march on from about March time, and they really had that push from the title, from being maybe too far away in the playoffs. And Carl Pigliani was a huge part of that, and he's been a mainstay in their team. I think maybe Salford players have disappointed. I think you would have expected Adam Rooney, Lloyd to get more goals, but I think Carlo Brigliani, he came in National League North, and he's maybe gone under the radar a little bit in the league, but he's done really well. And yeah, with 9 goals this season and playing pretty much 100% of their games in the league, with 98% of them, so he's been so crucial in their back four, and he's kept his place with big EFL signings such as Nathan Pond coming in. Bin right back is maybe not his usual position, but we've got Alex Gudger from Solihull Moors. I think you have to have some of these Solihull players. I think I'd liken Solihull Moors to maybe a better Maidenhead. They know how to get results. They get results. They grind out results. They get wins. Potentially, maybe the football's not the prettiest at times. Potentially, sometimes it is. But when they know how to get results, and that's why with maybe much less quality than Salford, they've got themselves in a second position, which for Solihull Moors, from where they are last season, was absolutely incredible. And Alex Gudger, one of their player of the season, we'll talk about the other one who was part of that player of the season as well. But Alex Gudger, one of their centre-backs, who's I think also got 6 goals as well, 6-7 goals from that centre-back or right-back position. And he's done really, really well. And then we go over to left mid, where we have Mark Yeats from Eastleigh. I didn't really know about this guy, but he's 34. He's had a long career, but he's gone to Eastleigh, and he's done really, really well. He scored a banging goal against Maidenhead to confirm they were in the playoffs. 4 goals this season, but what really struck me is 26 assists. He has been the creator for Paul McCullum, and he's far ahead than anyone else for assists in this league. 26 assists is a fantastic achievement, and to have about 29 goals and assists is incredible for a left midfielder. That contribution is huge, and I think the second highest person with assists is 13, so he's so far ahead. And obviously win one of the stars. And for me, I didn't know about that stat. He's gone under the radar. But there's going to be another star we've got to talk about from Eastleigh later on. But for Eastleigh to get in the playoffs with a reduced budget, Yeats has been a big part of that. And at the age of 34, he's still doing it. And we then go into centre mid, where we have our first Wrexham representative of Akil Wright. Yeah, a real solid midfielder that's played pretty much the whole season. And it's been really, really solid for them. Wrexham have had 3 managers, and Akil Wright's been he's played pretty much consistently under those 3 managers, and he's been really, really solid. He's picked up a few goals, 5 I think with them. I think box to box causes problems for the defences. I think I just preferred Wright over Summerfield for me. I think Summerfield's also had a great season as well, but I think I've just gone for Akil Wright over Summerfield in there. And with the other centre mid, we've got Jamie Osborne from Solihull Moors. I talked about the other player of the season. This was the player of the season for Solihull Moors, of Jamie Osborne. Again, box-to-box midfielder. I think he's also got 5 goals this season as well. And again, just been really, really solid for me. And yeah, Jamie Osborne, I think, you know, he's one of those players, again, gone under the radar. One of those Solihull players that puts 110% in. Works hard, and gives 110% for Tim Flowers and that Solihull Moors team. We've got into right mid, we've got Josh Karoma of Leyton Orient, a huge young talent who I'm sure is going to be doing very well with Leyton Orient in the Football League. He's picked up 11 goals and 7 assists this season, and I think maybe his stats don't do his justice in this league. He's always taken on players, maybe he's got that pre-assist, he makes that move which shifts the defences, which creates them goals, and of course a lot of teams that play against Leyton Orient will try and park the bus, but Josh Karoma creates that gap, he gets around people, and when he played against us, he does create that spaces, and he takes on a player, and he's a real quick, nippy player, and certainly a very decent player for me, and I'm sure he will do very well in the Football League. Over up top, this man needs no introduction. Won the National League Player of the Season for a 2nd year in a row. It's Danny Rowe of Fylde, top goal scorer as well, with 27 goals this season. This man just seems to score goals. He certainly had a much better first half of the season. Only scored 9 goals since the turn of the year, which he'll be disappointed by. But he did get a goal in the playoffs, and yeah, certainly one of the best players in the league. He wanted to win the National League Player of the Season, the Golden Boot, but didn't manage to win Fylde's Player of the Season. When he played at Ebbsfleet at Stonebridge Road, and also at Fylde, he's just different. His shots are incredible. Scored a banging free kick at Ebbsfleet, and just scored from absolute random angle. He's just maybe his movement's not great, but his shots are just... the goalkeepers in this league can't deal with him. And he's had another fantastic season. Will he move on from Fylde? That's the big question. I don't know. I think he lives in and around the area, and he's obviously on a big contract for this level as well. So it'll be interesting to see if there is any rumours to maybe clubs like he was at Tranmere last season. Obviously they'll be potentially having to replace James Nord as well. So yeah, but Danny Rowe, great season. I'm sure he'll be hoping to have 2 victories at Wembley this season in the playoffs and in the FA Trophy as well. And in the final spot of the National League team of the year is Paul McCullum of Eastleigh. He just snips it over for me for Macaulay Bonne. For me, Eastleigh, I think in Leyton Orient you're going to get more chances. Macaulay Bonne has scored quite a few penalties as well. But for me, I have to go for Paul McCullum. Eastleigh, again, a side you wouldn't have expected to get into the playoffs. They were mid-table when Heston Tyler left, and Paul McCullum just seems to score goals. He scored an incredible brace at Salford. And again, since that turn of the year, he could have maybe nipped Danny Rowe to the National League Golden Boot, but Danny Rowe's just won it there. Obviously, this is recorded before Eastleigh versus Wrexham, so maybe he's got a few goals there, or Eastleigh have gotten through. But yeah, Paul McCullum's had a fantastic year, 26 goals this season, and maybe he's going to have links to EFL clubs. I'm sure he will do, because if you compare to the other strikers in the Golden Boots in the top scorer section, they've probably got bigger wages than him, so probably be more likely to move on. We've also got a bench as well. Is Rob Layton of Wrexham. Again, most clean sheets. There was a big debate, but he, for me, is a real solid keeper. Didn't play great at Stonebridge Road, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, you could have argued he could have been the goalkeeper, but I'm going to go for him in Rob Layton. Callum Howell, again, another one of the centre-backs that scored a lot of goals, but probably been just a huge mainstay in Harrogate, getting in the playoffs. Unfortunately, did lose against Fylde, but Callum Howell's had a fantastic season. Luke Summerfield of Wrexham, again, I did talk about over Kilwright, but they've got a great centre mid pairing, but I just prefer to Kilwright. But Luke Summerfield definitely deserves a mention. Yusuf from Solihull Moors, I saw a stat, he's got the most match-winning goals with 9, just below Danny Rowe, and he's been crucial coming off the bench. He just seems to score goals when Solihull need him, again pushing them into that second spot. Again, Macaulay Bonne just missed out for me over Paul McCullum, but he's had a fantastic season, and he had links with some Championship and League One clubs, and I'm sure he'll want to stay with Leyton Orient, who gave him the opportunity to get some game time as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's the National League Team of the Year. I'm sure you'll let me know what you think of the team. Who have I left out? Who shouldn't be included? Yes, let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all later. See you later.